Mario Kart World is shaping up to have the biggest roster ever in the history of Mario Kart. So far, a whopping 50 characters have been confirmed, and we don't know whether or not Nintendo has even more characters planned on the way. But today, we actually now know how characters are unlocked in Mario Kart World, at least one method. There could be multiple ways, but that's exactly what we're going to talk about today because we actually have footage of how these characters are unlocked in the first place. Clearly, you guys have been super excited about Mario Kart World content. You guys have been showing so much support recently, so thank you so much. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. Over 700 of you subscribed still yesterday, still keeping it extremely lively with the subscriptions. You guys are amazing. I am super blessed and thank you to you all. But let's see if we can beat even that amount of subscribers with today's video, and let's talk about these character unlocks. Like I previously said, it's confirmed that we'll have these 50 characters. You know, this is what we've seen so far, and this seems to be the max amount of characters shown, unless Nintendo's hiding a bunch more after this Nintendo Direct coming in like literally the next 7 days. Now, one thing you'll notice is most of these new characters are famous enemies throughout the series. Some not so famous, but most of them are just straight up enemies being slapped into the game. Now, this was something that was actually confirmed from the treehouse because they actually showed footage of this happening in real time. It's a brand new crystal ball item in the game that summons Kamek. As you can see, Peach summons him right here. Kamek then flies forward along the map, transforming everybody into a specific enemy and also spawning that enemy on the track as an obstacle. It even transforms Hammer Bro, who's literally behind Princess Peach when she uses this item, but it turns Hammer Bro into a Charging Chuck. And you'll notice something else. At the bottom of the screen, it'll say Charging Chuck with a new character unlock screen. And we've been seeing lots of gameplay that people have been posting showing their transformations as well, like this player turning into a coin coffer and Kamek also spawning tons of coins in front of the racers. Now what's interesting is this is just a temporary change before you turn back into your original character, as we see this character turn right back into Pauline after the effect wears off. Strange enough, this seems to be the new way to unlock characters, is getting hit by this item, which is pretty strange, I can't lie. Now, I do not think this is going to be the only way to unlock characters. I think this might just be a secondary option for people that might not want to grind in like a story mode or single player campaign, some type of mission mode where it might be easier to unlock these characters if you just want to play that. But for people that just want to race, maybe this is just a fun, casual way to unlock characters. I'm still under the impression that they're hiding something with the food, that it actually does more in this game besides just give you an outfit. But for instance, if you want to gain the outfits, you have two options. You can simply just try to collect all the bags while you're racing by just stopping by one of the Yoshi stops and grabbing a bag, which also gives you a speed boost and a new costume, or you can go into free roam and find all the costumes that way, as you even have a checklist to find them all. So I'm guessing there's going to be some other type of way to get characters in free roam or some type of story mode. I mean, within the trailer, we also saw some of these characters just simply walking around the map or just sitting in certain areas. For instance, in this Wario scene, driving in the desert, you can see a little campsite with Nabbit by some pots and what seems to be some torches. So maybe this is a way you unlock characters by driving up to them, maybe doing a side quest or mission, or just straight up running into them in order to find them and collect them. If this is indeed the case, I really hope there's more characters that they just haven't shown us yet, because I feel like showing us all 50 characters already and not leaving any surprises would be kind of a letdown, because if they did only have 50 characters, which still is a lot, I wish they only showed us around half of them before showing us like literally every single one so far. This could make looking for them in the overworld even more fun. Imagine coming across like a Fuzzy or something that's just completely wild, or maybe a Koopaling, or maybe even Egad, some other type of character, and realizing, oh my goodness, we get to be that character now, or some other type of enemy that we haven't seen so far would be a big surprise to play during the free roam. I do believe there's going to be another way, because if we go back to that Kamek thing, it doesn't quite make sense for some of these characters. For instance, we have some new characters that are not necessarily enemies. For instance, take these two, Nabbit and Dolphin. I guess you could kind of see Nabbit as an enemy a little bit with New Super Mario Bros., but is also now a playable character and more of a mainline character instead of an enemy. I don't even know what Kamek would do, just make some Nabbits appear or something. Like, there's only one Nabbit too, so it wouldn't really make sense in that context. And Dolphin has really never been an enemy, so that doesn't make sense to me either. Maybe it's a type of creature that's based on the course, like you have to be in water for Kamek to actually make dolphins appear, but that would just be even more tedious to unlock this character. Like, not only do you have to get lucky and get hit by this Kamek item, but you also have to be on a water course when this happens, which just doesn't sound fun. Even though that sounds like something Nintendo would definitely do, considering the fact that they have so some water creatures on this cast already, like Fishbone and Cheep Cheep. What about Cow? She's not an enemy, or maybe just an obstacle. I could see Kamek just spawning a bunch of cows like Moo Moo Meadows already has, and then just turning you into a cow in return, kind of similar with Mr. Blizzard, because even though he started off as an enemy, I can see him more as just an obstacle, but we know confirmed from the gameplay that Kamek can spawn a Mr. Blizzard. Penguin is strange because yes, he could be spawned from Kamek, and maybe he just makes a bunch of penguins appear and just start sliding towards you on their stomachs, turning you into a penguin as well, but that one is really pushing it because the penguins have never been enemies. Then that leaves me with him. This is the weirdest one in the entire roster, where like 90% of the new characters coming into the game are just straight up Mario enemies, but here we have the Piantas from Mario Sunshine. This can't be the only new character that we're getting that's not an enemy, right? Because it doesn't even make sense when you think about it. Because why? Kamek definitely is not going to spawn a bunch of Piantas, right? That would just be stupid, because Piantas are definitely not enemies. They're actually a race, you know, from Isle Delfino. So why in the world would Kamek be spawning something like that? So how do we unlock Pianta? That's why I do think there's going to be a separate way of unlocking characters that might be tied to a story mode. Something else I wondered is, what if we have to unlock almost the entire cast? Like, besides like maybe Mario, Luigi, Peach, and then that's like it. Maybe we get like 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 characters to start off with and have to unlock everybody else. One reason I say this is because when we look at the official Treehouse character select screen, you can see the way the characters are aligned are different than other versions that we've seen other people play and their demo versions. For instance, we can see Pauline in the top row and Baby Mario and Baby Luigi replacing Rosalina and Daisy on this front page. So maybe it does depend on how we unlock these characters and what order we find them in. Now, if you were somebody that was kind of let down and wanted other main characters from Mario's franchises and maybe even spin-offs like the Mario and Luigi and Paper Mario games, maybe even Mario RPG, don't fret yet, because I believe having Pianta here is actually a really good sign, as he's not just one of the basic Mario enemies. Maybe Nintendo has a lot more unique and creative characters on the way, more mainline characters, or maybe characters from Nintendo's, you know, greatest spin-offs, which I really hope is the case, because as much as I love all these enemies and I really don't have a complaint with them, I would love to see some creative characters as well thrown in the game. And I'm still on the train of having other Nintendo characters and IPs in this game as well via like DLC or free updates eventually, like having Kirby or maybe Captain Falcon or Samus would be really great. But now I leave it to you guys. What do you think? Do you think there's going to be only one way to unlock characters through Kamek, or is there going to be something else that we just haven't seen yet? Do you think there's going to be a story mode element or some type of free roam element to unlocking these characters, and are there a lot more on the way than the 50 that we know already? Thank you so much for tuning in, and make sure you leave a like and subscribe to stay up to date on all things Mario Kart World and Nintendo in general. And like always, I'll see you all on the next one. See you guys.